Hi, welcome to Bloom. Today everyone is talking about data and big data. When we are talking about data, one word we come across is databases. So what are databases? How to work with databases? Well, you need to learn SQL to work with databases. Let's get started. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is used to access and manipulate databases. It is a standard. But there are different flavors such as MySQL, Microsoft SQL, PostgreSQL, likewise. But all flavors support major command types. Now let's learn SQL with MySQL Database. How to install MySQL? First we need to install PhpMyAdmin. PhpMyAdmin is a graphical user interface for SQL. To use PhpMyAdmin, we can download the hosting software SAMP. Let's see how to download SAMP. Search SAMP on Google and you will direct to this URL. There you can download the SAMP server according to your OS. Once you install SAMP server, you can start SAMP server using SAMP control icon. Then you have to start Apache and MySQL to run a MySQL database. Once you start the SAMP server, you can type the URL here and go to your local host. Okay, now let's create our database. Here we have the option to create manually like this. Let's type school and create the database. Okay, here we have the database. Within that we can create a table called student. You can give the number of columns. Okay, we'll put student name, age, class. For student ID we can give int or varchar, length of maybe 3, then name, it can be varchar. For example, we can give 25, age is integer, length 2, and then class we can again give varchar, maybe 3. So after that we can save it. Now we can see the table structure here: student ID, name, age, class. When we go to school database, we can see there's a table. If we don't want this, we can drop it. We can remove the table. Also, we can remove this database also if we don't want it. We can just select and drop it. Okay, now we'll see how to create a database using SQL command. You can just type create database school and we can execute the command. Now we have the school database and now we have to create tables. We can use this option or either SQL. Let's see how to use SQL commands. Create table. The table name will give student, and then you have to start open the brackets, and then we have to give the column names. The first column is student ID. It's a var. Then variable type we have to give. What's the variable type? We'll give a varchar, index of length 4, then comma, then name. It's varchar. We'll give 25. Then after that age. That's int. Give int. Maximum length 2, and after that we can close the bracket and run the code. We see we have a student table. Let's see the structure. So student ID varchar 4, name varchar 25, and age is int. Now let's see how to insert values to this table. We can use this option, insert. Student ID will type is 001, then name Jane, age 7. We can run this. So here we can see the SQL command also. Insert into student ID, name, age, values. Now let's see the browse and see. Now we can see the values we just entered appears here.
we'll see how to add the same using SQL command. So insert into student name, you can put S2 and then again execute it. Second entry also there. Then let's see another example. Here we are not going to input all the values, only the student name and age. Let's see what happened. We put student number 3 and some other name. Okay, it is also successful. We executed. So here only 2 values are available. The other value is shown as null. Let's see another example. Here we are going to input all 3 values. But if we are giving all the values, we don't need to specify the column names, but follow the same order of the column. For example, we run this. Now let's see. Here we did not specify the column names, but it has taken in the same order that we typed. Now let's see if we want to remove all this data, what we should do. We should just type truncate table name student. Now let's go and see what has happened. The table is there, but there is no data. We'll again input some data here. Now again we have data in the table. Now let's type drop table and see what happens. Okay. Right now in our database there are no tables. The student table is removed. We learn to create a table and insert information using the SQL commands. But usually we have large data sets and we can't manually input this data. Usually we have data in Excel format. So there's an easy option that we can import our data to a table. But for that you need to have a CSV file. So go to your database, the school database, and we can press on import. Here we have to select the format CSV, and we can give our CSV file, student CSV. This has information, the table information, student ID, name, age, and there are 8 rows. The first row is the column headers. We have to select this. The first line of the file contains the table column names. If not, it will be considered as another row. And we can press on go. Then it is executed. Now let's see. Student table has been created inside the school database, and let's go to student and see what's inside. Here all the data is captured.
Now let's recapture what we learned today. First we learned how to create a database. We just use the keyword create database and type the database name. And when you don't want to delete the database, we just use drop database as the database name. Next we learn how to create and drop a table. When we create a table, we use create table, table name, and then we have to give the column name and its data type. When we are deleting the table, we just type drop table, table name. If we only want to delete the data inside the table, we use truncate table. Finally, we learn how to insert information into a table. If we are inserting all the values, then we only need to type insert into table name and values in the same order that appears. But if we are inserting information only to particular columns, we have to specify the column names along with the values. So that's the end of our lesson. Thank you for joining with Blue and stay subscribed to learn more.